The nature of the American democracy. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. Is the American government as democratic as perceived to be? This political outlook was discussed and clarified by everyday ordinary citizens of America. I interviewed a total of 8 people or more of various ages, occupations, political parties, ethnic groups, nationalities, and gender about their beliefs and attitude toward the American government. With all of the differences in people's lives, ethnicities, beliefs, and experiences in America, the thoughts and opinions of my family, friends, and colleagues proved interesting. To begin, I started the interview process by asking individuals about their personal opinions, thoughts, and feelings on American government and democracy. I wanted to have input from many individuals with different races, political parties, religion, and experience here in America. This included school teachers, nurses, paralegals, college students, high school students, working class citizens, unemployed citizens, and retired American citizens. The ethnicity of these people, I believe, one way or another, affected their personal thoughts and opinions. This included African American, Black, Caucasian, Cambodian, Indian, Latino, Jamaican, and biracial individuals. Age groups range from the youngest being 18 years old to the eldest being 57 years old. Interestingly enough, all political parties were Democratic voters. No Republican voters were interviewed, although not intentional. The youth culture had interesting views on what democracy meant to them. It was expected of the older age citizens to have an understanding. Many felt it means for the people and by the people, and some had no idea what democracy meant. Shamoy Wallace stated, citizens vote on what they want instead of a dictatorship. The citizens are always involved. John McCrae stated, democracy is not a fair system because the people do not make the laws. Keith Freeman stated a level of equality in terms of what decisions are made in the country. Shakir Brady, along with Leah Praylor and several others, stated clearly, I do not know what democracy means. They couldn't really come to terms with a democracy because, just like other previous statements, people don't know what democracy is. For my next segment, I asked individuals what they believe was the governmental structure of a society and if they knew the main branches of government. Of course, many knew the main branches of government, but some got 2 out of 3. Gary Graham, Audrey Sora, and Aisha Rowan all stated, I do not know. Aaliyah Praylor explained it as a series of officers working adjacently to keep the country going, and Angela Phillips described it as police enforcement, resources, assisted programs, sessions, and things of that nature. These are all explanations of what people feel like the governmental structure are. Against the apparent democratic government, Keith Freeman stated, it is not democracy and it is hard to make a change. People in power are making life decisions for people without their influence or voice. But in defense, Shamoya Wall explained they hold elections each year and the citizens vote for them to carry out what they want. All right. Next, individuals who were more established in their careers proved they had the best responses to the following question. However, those who were younger seemed to have a great understanding as well. When asked what they believed were some strengths and weaknesses of the government, Aisha Rohn stated, the strengths and weaknesses are the same because people have a say in it, but then have no say in how to make the laws and how to carry them out. Gary Graham stated, a strength is whomever has the money has the power, and a weakness is no money, no power. Stephen Williams explained that strengths are the people who are able to choose their own laws and ways of being governed. A weakness is the persecution and oppression of the majority. And Cannon Robinson added that the weakness is that people are biased, and the strength is that most people have a say in what happens. Okay, when asked to express their views on if the American government was democratic or not, and if they would work for a governmental office, many interviews agreed that it was either ran by Republicans or simply not Republic at all, including rejecting to participate in government offices. Aja Noor concluded that yes, because no decisions are made relying on the single input or views of one person. And Kendall Harris stated that no, they say they are, but I do not think they are a democratic government. There should not only be a 1% that's wealthy. Lastly, Chair Murdoch left this interesting remark. Technically, yes, but the government has more power than the citizens do. All right. For my final question on democracy, I asked my interviewees did they trust the government and what they would like to see change within it. Majority of them, with the exception of 2 people, stated that they did not trust the government at all. Supporting these opinions, Gary Graham said no because what they say and what they do are 2 different things. Ajanari Soor believed the government is trying to work towards a better U.S. Against both these statements, Chad Murdoch had this to say. No, because the government and the justice system is structured for Christian white men and not the others in the melting pot as supposed to. This opinion was similar to and supported by Stephen Williams, who stated, I would like to see laws that negatively affect people of color grow and new ones that help society as a whole get passed. In conclusion, the nature of the American democracy and whether it is democratic or not. In my opinion, it varies on age, race, political party, experience, occupational, and professional occupation in life. Although these differences can coincide and bring people with the same governmental views together, as proved with a series of interviews with 8 different individuals, I have concluded that many understand democracy and its structure, but some feel as though the power is cut within the structure and not amongst the people. Another thing I learned from my interview process is that many feel that government cannot be trusted and that the strength in people being able to vote for their representative in a way of governing over themselves, but the power structure has shifted. For example, When I asked Stephen Williams, he stated democracy structure varies across history. With a similar opinion, Kiana Robinson believes there isn't democracy in America now. To summarize, all I learned from my interviews about Ray's thoughts and opinions on the American government and democracy is that most people do not believe in our democracy anymore. They only believe citizens have the power to vote and then have the say in anything else. It is apparent that many believe the government only has corporate and public interests. To conclude with two quotes, one from Andrew Phillips accusing the government of excessive military spending, the removal of all non-white ethnic groups who do not follow the Kabbalistic and dehumanization and color nationality, and John McCrae, who stated, "Look at how many prisons are built. They are shutting down schools. The American government, democracy, or hypocrisy. Walk the land of the free and the home of the brave to see." Do they hold the truth to be self-evident? What do you think? Chime in the comment section. Let me know what you thought about the interview process. Definitely not a biased interview. I tried to get some Republican interviews in, but it wasn't possible. But it proved to be a great interview. I got some great viewpoints and some good perspective out of the whole process.